Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday on Thursday, we were celebrating Kenya's constitution by marking 16 years since it was promulgated in this country, Kenya. Surprisingly, President William Ruto is alleged to have turned his back on some provisions of the constitution. Over the past 2 months now, the High Court in Kenya issued an order directing President William Ruto to dissolve his cabinet and reconstitute it in order to comply with the 2/3 gender rule provided for in the constitution we are using currently. Ladies and gentlemen, however, Ruto appears to have avoided implementing the directive, raising concerns that the courts under the constitution have little power when it comes to enforcing constitutional provisions. Now, ladies and gentlemen, wonders will never end. Ruto decided to remain non-committal on cabinet reshuffle to meet 2/3 gender rule. Ruto has remained non-committal, ladies and gentlemen, on whether or not he is set to make changes to conform with a High Court ruling that gave him only 120 days to meet the 2/3 gender rule. In his first public response, Ruto seemed to sidestep a question from Eric Latif, who is a journalist of NTV, whether he would reorganize his cabinet in accordance with the ruling under the constitution. Before I proceed, as you continue watching this clip, ladies and gentlemen, please, I'm requesting you, I'm beseeching you to hit the like button and be blessed by God for hitting that subscribe button. And if you are watching for the first time, or rather if you have been watching and you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please consider subscribing by smashing the subscribe button that is down here. Once you are done, remember to turn on the notification bell. Without wasting your time, back to our political analysis. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Ruto, speaking during the Katiba Day celebrations at the KICC Nairobi, he said that just the same way the court has ruled that the parliament is not constitutional, that may not be achieved today. And it is a work in progress, progressively, That is how Ruto responded, Ruto instead appeared to refer to a similar ruling that directed the dissolution of parliament during former President Uhuru Kenyatta's administration, saying implementing such decisions could take time and would be achieved progressively. That is how I said, In July this year, a 3-judge bench of the High Court dealt President William Ruto a major legal setback after declaring that the current cabinet violates the constitution for failing to meet the 2/3 gender principle. The judges ruled that the current composition of the cabinet does not comply with Article 27, Section 8 of the Constitution, which requires that no more than 2/3 of members of appointive public bodies be of the same gender, The court directed, ladies and gentlemen, the president to reconstitute his cabinet within 4 months, or 120 days to be specific, to ensure compliance with Ruto now having only 42 days to go before the deadline expires, The landmark judgment followed a petition filed by Katiba Institute alongside the Center for Rights, Education and Awareness, Transparency International Kenya, the Community Advocacy and Awareness Trust, and the World March of Women Kenya, who challenged the legality of the cabinet constituted after the 2024 dismissals and subsequent appointments. Now, the bench, comprising Justice Eric Ogola, Jairus Nga, and Stephen Gitinji, found that the executive had failed to satisfy the constitutional thresholds on gender representation despite several rounds of cabinet appointments and reshuffles. Now, we are trying to ask ourselves some questions. Should Ruto proceed with the court order to reconstitute the cabinet to meet the 2/3 gender rule? The move could trigger political tensions and cost some members of the current cabinet, their positions with less than a year to the 2027 general elections, because it might be seen as a political embarrassment ili waweze kumudi campaign, The changes could also strain relations within the ruling Kenya Kwanza coalition and its partner ODM, which is part of the broad-based government, according to political perspective, or rather analysis. Now, the possibility of a cabinet reshuffle had already sparked political maneuvering after the ruling, with ODM indicating that it was ready to propose some additional members for cabinet positions. ODM acting Secretary General, Catherine Omanyo, said in July that the party had several qualified women who could serve as cabinet secretaries should Ruto undertake a reshuffle. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Let's meet in the next video. But if you are watching for the first time and you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, I have a request. Please consider subscribing by smashing the subscribe button that is down here. Once you are done, remember to turn on the notification bell so that the moment we upload any new video clip, you'll be notified automatically that Mwana Kenya Media has uploaded a new video clip to watch. Remember to share our content always with the WhatsApp groups and even on Facebook. That is how we can continue building this channel of ours, Mwana Kenya Media. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Let's meet in the next video. Bye-bye.